just as a preface, I was asking the Chat GPT about Skull and Bones and government and military and corporations, and there's quite a bit of overlap. So I asked Chat to put together like a RICO. Uh, Show me your best RICO case against Skull and Bones, um, based off of what's already um, proven or disclosed. Um, Hypothetical RICO case against Skull and Bones. Basis: Skull and Bones functions as a secretive organized network that channels members into positions of political, financial, military power and is alleged to be involved in coordinated harmful activities. Yeah, all that sounds plausible. The enterprise definition under RICO: an enterprise is a group with the common purpose, a formal or informal structure, continuity over time. Public facts supporting an enterprise. Skull and Bones has existed since 1832, operating as a private hierarchical society. Members are drawn from Yale University, often wealthy families with influence: Bush, Bundy, Harriman. To list a few, I guess. The Russell Trust Association. So that's how I guess the Skull and Bones is held as a private trust. The corporate entity that owns the properties, the Tomb, Deer Island, demonstrates formal structure and continuity. Hypothetical claim: Skull and Bones itself is the enterprise coordinating members to gain strategic positions in government, finance, and military. Racketeering acts. Alleged pattern: RICO requires at least 2 acts of racketeering within 10 years based on public reporting and historical disclosures. One could allege corruption, influence peddling. Members have moved between Wall Street, Goldman Sachs, Blackstone, and government posts. Treasury defense, public reporting, documents, revolving door, and preferential contracts. Yeah, like I guess the dude who came up with FedEx is Skull and Bones. Illegal experimentation, human rights violations, allegations of unethical military intelligence and medical experimentation, historical Cold War programs, MK Ultra. Tuskegee parallels. Some Skull and Bones alumni held positions of oversight. Really? Wow. No surprises there, I guess. War and military interventions causing mass harm. Members like George H.W. Bush, Persian Gulf War; George W. Bush, Iraq War; McGeorge Bundy, Vietnam, participated in policies leading to large-scale. So, I don't know. Let's read the note. For a real RICO case, each act would have to be legally recognized. Each act would have to be legally recognized as criminal, not just morally questionable. Historical war decisions alone aren't criminal under U.S. law, but illegal experimentation or fraud could qualify. Well, we got to be pretty specific if we want to bring a case. Pattern of racketeering. RICO requires pattern, repeated acts connected to the enterprise. Thank goodness for the conspiracy theorist, pattern recognition specialists. Hypothetical claim: Skull and Bones alumni over decades systematically assessed positions to gain influence, cover unethical acts, or enrich the network, forming a continuous criminal pattern. Supporting facts: multi-generational membership, coordinated movement into government, finance, intelligence, public reports of insider deals, preferential contracts, and alleged unethical. So there you go. There's a pattern of corruption here. It seems like we have a case. Oops. Hey. Connections between acts and enterprise. Acts must be tied to the enterprise itself, not just individual members. Acts must be tied to the enterprise itself, not just individual members. That's a tricky one. Hypothetical legal argument. Members were recruited via Skull and Bones. This is... Son of a... Come on. The society provides network access, mentorship, and placement into key positions. Criminal acts, fraud, experimentation, human rights violations were facilitated by this access, creating an organizational conduit. Potential RICO claims. Civil RICO. Citizens harmed by policies or corporate actions could sue the enterprise for triple damages. So, one, I think it's a good idea. And we're going to ask in a second, like, has anyone ever brought a legal case against the Skull and Bones? But it seems like a good idea, because everything they do that is harmful to we the people of the world is done under the guise of law and business. So, before they Samson option the shit out of us, maybe I'll just spend some time in court. I don't know. I don't see any good lawyers out there doing it. That's not true. I know there's people fighting for rights, so good on you. Potential RICO claims. Yeah. DOJ could theoretically investigate if evidence of fraud, illegal human experimentation. Tell me about those electromagnetic frequency weapons that are literally being covered up by the FBI. 600 State Street, New Haven. So maybe we can add them into this RICO case. Bribery or conspiracy. Yeah. Challenges. Direct evidence linking Skull and Bones as an entity rather than individual alumni to criminal acts is virtually non-existent in public records. Yeah, that was where I was stuck before. Individual versus the enterprise. I don't know. But I'm sure there's a way. Evidence required to move forward under RICO. You'd need documented proof, membership records, who was in Skull and Bones during relevant years, communication logs, evidence of coordination between members regarding criminal acts. Yeah, good luck with all that, right? Financial government contract records showing preferential treatment tied to membership. That I feel like, if you could do a forensic investigation into someone's work email, you could probably come up and put it together, how, this person was going to get the FedEx contract or whatever we're talking about. Testimony from insiders. Yeah, good luck with that too. Documented violations. For example, official military or corporate investigations into wrongdoing. Without these, a RICO case would almost certainly be dismissed. Right. So, all of them? Really? All 5 of those? Fuck. That's going to be tricky. We got to get somebody to start talking. I don't know. Maybe one of the alumni is like old and senile enough to like just talk. Skull and Bones could theoretically be treated as a RICO enterprise, given its organization and longevity. The main obstacle is proving a pattern of criminal acts directly tied to the enterprise, not just morally questionable influence. The best case, publicly disclosed, would focus on alumni in finance committing fraud, alumni overseeing unethical experiments, alumni using positions for personal or network enrichment. Indirect effects like war, poverty, or policy decisions alone are not enough for RICO. My grandfather went away for RICO. And you're saying war? indirect effects like war, not, I don't know. I don't know about all that. If you want, I can draw a vision. I asked about Epstein and Skull and Bones because one of I don't know, one of their associates is out of New Canaan, Connecticut, and it just seemed like there would be, but the AI says no direct link, so who knows. Several Yale professors had documented contact with Epstein, and we know that Epstein was involved with the California Institute of Technology, MIT, and I don't know, probably a bunch of other universities. It says here Yale. David, I'm gonna butcher that one, Gelernter, corresponded with Epstein and even visited him. Emails are now public. Nicholas Christakis had email exchanges and was scheduled to meet Epstein despite no alleged involvement in his criminal enterprise. Oh, it says they're not Skull and Bones. My question was Skull and Bones and Epstein. Many people appear 2 or 3 degrees removed via acquaintances or shared events. Well, give us the rest of the file. Let's see about that. Has anyone brought litigation against the Skull and Bones enterprise or organization as a whole? No. There's never been a verified case where Skull and Bones itself or the Russell Trust Association has been sued or prosecuted as an organization under U.S. law. All right. Who thinks that's a good idea?